Hello, Oracles. Well, Elon finally breaks his Tesla silence. Sure, we have gotten lots of retweets from Elon. We saw him over at the delivery event for the semi truck, but there really hasn't been any deep, fundamental core information coming out of Elon for quite a while. Now, granted, he bought Twitter, had a lot of things going on over there, very focused on that. And he was basically focused on Twitter right through the end of November. It was right at the beginning of December that he had the Neuralink presentation, and then he had the semi truck presentation as well. Now we are starting to get some more information coming out of Elon. So it just seems like, he focused his attention. This is what he does. Focused his attention on Twitter, got that up and running to where it needs to be right now. Still a lot of work to be done, but did that. Now he's kind of coming back over here. So, how did Elon break his silence today? Now, before we get into that, I just want to share with you guys, I'm very excited. Tomorrow night is going to be our second ladies' night here on the channel. Kind of all came together last minute. Very excited about this. We are going to be having Jen Strahan back on here again. We are going to be having Fosky and Tesla Proud. Three amazing women who are over on Twitter in the Tesla community. I'm very excited to discuss everything with them tomorrow night. So please join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be discussing Tesla and how we think it's going to be moving over the next 6 to 12 months based upon the macro environment and all of the other information that we have going on. Lots of different things to talk about. Very excited. So looking at how Elon broke his Tesla silence, he came out. We had Holmar's catalog, simple tweet, Tesla, and Amazon. That was it. His response: macro conditions are difficult. Energy in Europe, real estate in China, and crazy Fed rates in USA. So with him coming out and saying this, my personal take on this is that there has been a lot of headwinds that they have been facing. So Elon himself obviously was focused on Twitter, but we know he still has his hands discussing different things over at Tesla as well. This is what's going on. He just had his head down, focused on making things happen versus just talking about them. Now, granted, it's not good for a lot of shareholders, especially considering he sold shares. The stock price has been beaten down quite a bit, and we're kind of getting radio silence from him and the Tesla board. And usually when you have silence, human nature is to just focus on worst case scenario. That's what many people in the community have been doing. A lot of people have just been thinking worst case scenario. We're thinking, what about us? We're just over here. Our portfolios are suffering right now. What about us? Now, I made a few tweets today discussing this, saying, look, Elon is the biggest shareholder when it comes to Tesla stock. So if anybody is down massively in their portfolio, it's Elon. Nobody's taking a bigger hit on any of this than Elon is. That's the reality behind all of it. Leo Koguan has come out. He's been voicing his frustrations as well. He is, from what he has told us, the third largest individual shareholder of Tesla stock. So he's down billions of dollars when it comes to the stock price itself. It's frustrating. Leo's been an amazing champion for us all year long, rallying behind the company, saying, no matter what happens, I'm going to be here. I'm still buying. He is still buying. He's showing us on a regular basis that he is buying. But he has been pressuring the company and the board to do buybacks. Elon has already said it is up to the board to do any buybacks. The board has not said anything, but we have known that the board has been talking about it, and they have already discussed how they can do a $5 to $10 billion buyback next year. So they've basically told us what their plan is for next year, and they said they can do this regardless of what we could potentially be facing with a bigger global recession going on. They have these things planned out. They know what they are planning on doing. They just can't come out and say, hey, we're going to do a buyback. It's just not right now. They basically told us that, but they can't just come out and say that. So I don't know what it is that they can say that will make the community happy, that they can legally talk about without the SEC coming down on them. And now we did also hear that Elon unfollowed Leo on Twitter. I don't know if this is true. I have no way of verifying that Elon was following Leo without really going back in time to find this out. So I don't know if he actually did unfollow him, but this also didn't bode well for the community, because having somebody being the third largest shareholder of the stock and then Elon unfollowing him, that doesn't really sit well. And so as I had tweeted out, I said, Tesla and Elon are facing significant macro challenges to do what is fundamentally best for the company and us as shareholders. We can choose to support them during challenging times or become another challenge for them. The choice is ours. And this is basically where we are at right now. Yes, I know it stinks that our portfolios are down, but don't forget, Tesla's not the only one that has taken a beating this year. Basically, all companies have. All growth companies have taken a massive beating this year. That's just the reality of the situation. The problem when it comes to Tesla stock is it is heavily owned by retail investors. So there's a lot more individuals that are involved in this versus larger institutional holders like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. These companies are heavily institutionally owned, so people usually just have them in their 401k, and most people are not really looking at their 401k. The money just comes out of their paychecks, goes into their 401k, and they're dollar cost averaging. That's what they're doing when it comes to those companies. When it comes to Tesla, we have a totally different type of community that is so much more deeply involved in what is going on. So we take a lot more pride in what is going on with Tesla than those other companies. This is the biggest difference, but as individual shareholders, we need to have the same resolve that people do when it comes to their 401k and institutional holdings. So those people don't notice what's going on. We need to do the same ourselves. We had faith 6 months ago when Tesla stock was coming down 30 to 40%, saying, you know what? We have faith that the company is doing the right thing for the company itself and us as shareholders. The only difference between then and now is we've come down further in the stock price. The fundamentals have actually gotten better when it comes to the company itself. We just got great delivery numbers this morning coming out of Shanghai saying that they delivered 62,000 domestic deliveries and 38,000 exports coming out of the country. So that is an amazing number that we are seeing growing. We also got Elon replying to I Like Tesla's tweet of, wonder why I don't hear any outrage about Elon's lack of attention to SpaceX. Oh, that's right. Elon responds, I continue to oversee both Tesla and SpaceX, but the teams there are so good that often little is needed from me. Now, this is something that we have been talking about since well before the stock market started coming down about how Elon himself not having to be there as a vital, pivotal role in the company is actually extremely bullish. Being able to have Tesla run without him removes that key man risk. This is what we are seeing right now. This is what we have been wanting to see. Now we are getting this during some very difficult times, and we're getting angry about it because we don't have Elon coming out. Now, sorry for the tough love, but I gotta say, if you guys need to be coddled on a daily basis to be reminded that, oh, I'm here for you guys, don't worry, the stock price is gonna be good in the future, you're invested in the wrong company. And you probably shouldn't be investing at all if that's the way you're going to invest and think. I know many of you on here are not like that. But if that is something that has gone through your head, I've seen that on Twitter regularly with people acting like that. Dude, you got in this. You tell me that you're a long term investor, yet you come out here and you're crying because the stock price isn't going back up and nobody is telling you from the board that we're going to be going back up or it's okay, we're going to do something to make the stock price go back up. Are you in this for the stock price or are you in this for the mission? This right now is really telling us which way you are going. Are you in it for the mission or the stock price? Because guess what? The mission is long term. And long term, the stock price will reflect that mission. If you're thinking right now that the mission needs to be solved in the next month, you got bigger problems. You are not a long term investor. You are a swing trader. And now, again, this is something we are going to be discussing tomorrow at Ladies' Night about what we can be seeing for the next 6 to 12 months. But I got to tell you right now, brace yourselves. It ain't going to be pretty for the next 6 to 12 months. We may have some ups and downs. Maybe we have already hit the bottom. Maybe we haven't. But if all you're going to be looking at is the next 6 to 12 months, you're not a long-term investor. That's it. Answer is that. You know, I've talked to so many of you on here saying that you're going to be holding for a minimum of 5 to 10 years. That is awesome. I love that. And I've had conversations with many of you talking about how this right now is a great buying opportunity. That's how I am taking it. Maybe we do come down further. Maybe there are better buying opportunities ahead of us. Totally possible. But again, that is not long term. That is near term, 6 to 12 months. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, but All I know is that anybody who is actually believing in the company itself is looking at this as a great buying opportunity because we are going to look back at this from 5 years from now and say, dang, those were the times I wish I bought more. And now, again, none of this is financial advice, but it is a swift kick in the pants as a reminder to you as, you know what kind of investor are you truly and why are you invested in this company? And so looking at the chart, today we finished down 1/3%. So basically flat, but the entire market was up. So definitely an underperformance. Part of that is due to the fact that we got some news today that there's a decision that may be made by Elon and the banks to put more of his Tesla stock up for collateral for the loans that he has against Twitter. This has not been fully decided yet, but it is something that is in the talks at the moment as a potential. So that scared some people early this morning. We ended up coming down and filling that gap at 170. So that was very good there. We came just below that, bounced off of that 169 level, and then came back up. So right now, we're still looking at that potential dead cat bounce. Tomorrow, we have the PPI data coming out. Monday is the CPI, then the FOMC meeting. So as far as the entire macro environment goes, we will be having some uncertainty for basically the next week. So this could be what brings us down below that 167 level. But again, there's so much uncertainty that's going on. Now, I did want to make a correction from this morning. This morning, I reported the wrong number when it came to production out of Shanghai. So Rob Maurer over on ShareLoft posted the correct number, which is 88,654 vehicles getting produced. My production number and forecast was 88,200. So I was only off by 454 vehicles. And of those vehicles, 56,105 were Model Ys and 32,549 were Model 3s. This marks a 56% increase from the same month last year when the company produced almost 57,000 vehicles, a record of its own time. And so looking to see how much I was off by, we will take the 454 miss divided by the 8,654. And we are looking at, well, I missed by 0.5% in production forecast. I would say that's pretty darn good. I will take it. And so again, I apologize for the misreporting this morning, but the numbers that I came out with for my forecast were pretty darn spot on. So I will now be looking at the end of the year. Biggest question I have right now when it comes to production is the rumors we have coming out of Bloomberg about that 20% production cut were backed up by, they said that they're going from 11.5-hour shifts to 9.5-hour shifts. We do not have confirmation other than Tesla coming out previously saying that this was not true. So I'm going to factor in no production cuts for the rest of the year. And so my production forecast for December for Shanghai is going to be 91,930. So we will see how close I am with that number when we come to the end of December. So some of the things that we need to remember right now are the fact that Tesla is running on basically autopilot or full self-driving, if you want to call it that. They don't need Elon to be there to drive that ship. It is doing very well on its own. So Elon being able to go and do what he did with Twitter was fine. They did great things without him being there. This is a very good sign for the company going forward. So now Elon can basically just be the lead cheerleader that he has been and loves being. He can be there to help problem solve a couple of things here and there, but he has a great team in place that takes care of the important stuff that is what is actually going to bring the stock price up for real in the future. Think about all the complaints that we get all the time about Elon is just pumping the stock up with all of his talk. Well, now we had Elon not here pumping up the stock with all of his talk. We got all of what we wanted, and we got to see that Tesla on a fundamental level is crushing it. So this is exactly what we have been wanting to see. This is exactly what we can throw in the bears' faces and say, look, we don't have Elon pumping the stock. We have Tesla as a team driving the fundamentals of the stock and the company forward to give us a real good reason for the stock price to be higher. It just isn't right now. It's a big disconnect because of all of the noise that is going on. And unfortunately, there's a significant chunk of the bull Tesla community right now that is getting frustrated. Understandably so. There's a lot of people out there that are relating what Elon is doing. That's why the stock price is down. Take a step back, though. You got to remember there are bigger things out there than just Tesla. This is what Elon is focusing on. And if all you are focused on in your life is your Tesla stock portfolio, maybe you need to look at some other things. Being all in on Tesla stock is awesome. But if you're all in on Tesla stock, it's probably because you believe in the company and the mission, not the stock price. And you're doing it for a long term. So if you're looking at this right now and you're frustrated because you're all in and your stock portfolio is down, ask yourself, are you really in it for the mission or are you in it for the stock price? So you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I've had a lot of great discussions over on Twitter, so this is not me coming out and telling you guys that you should be feeling one way or another. I totally get it. I'm not happy about my portfolio being down as much as it is either. I just have a different view and perspective on it than some other people do as well. But I totally understand the frustrations, so we can discuss it down in the comments below. And again, tomorrow night on the live stream, we're going to discuss it. All the ladies that are going to be on are extremely bullish when it comes to Tesla, but there are going to be some rough storms that we're going to be facing over the next 6 to 12 months. You just need to brace yourself for it and prepare. We made that video last night discussing all of it. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. But that is just kind of explaining to you guys what the next 6 to 12 months could be. If you prepare properly, you can really take advantage of what the company is going to be doing when we get past this ugly storm time over the next 6 to 12 months. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. As part of a membership program and Patreon, I do share with everyone in there all of my production forecasts for them to see as well. So if you want to join and see those, you can check the links in the description. Otherwise, thank you all so much. Have a great one.